Alright, welcome back, y'all, to Blast the Process 2. Continuing, TurboGilman is going to take us through a storm of aliens. So put your seatbelts on, buckle in for an adventure. Take it away.
Alright, hey everybody, welcome to Blast the Process. It's TurboGilman, and we're gonna play Alien Storm. Yeah, it's an arcade game that they ported for Genesis, and it's a ton of fun. Time starts when I confirm the character, so yeah, I guess we'll do a countdown after I reset, because I forgot that it started automatically. Alright. So yeah, if I can get a timer, or I'll do a timer. Start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
Good luck.
thank you. Alright, well, yeah, so a lot of beat 'em ups are just grouping and dealing with enemies. So we're going to try and keep enemies on the same plane and get them in group attacks, but some enemies we're going to try and really take care of individually so that they don't become problems. So you got basic attack, run attack. You have an aerial attack. I have not really messed with it though. You also have a tackle that stuns them, and then you go into OTGs, and you go from there. And with these screens, we're basically trying to get in the building, and when you scroll the screen just a little bit after killing one enemy or a certain amount of enemies, you end up in the next room. You can skip certain enemies at the end of stages. And I don't really know what the benefits are, other than, you know, obviously you want to kill everything as fast as possible to scroll, but I always blow up everything, because there's a chance that items will drop in some, but also it just, yeah, makes me feel better. Knowing that everything is, yeah, every stone has been turned. And there we go. Yeah, and then and then other than that, it's there's a lot of aliens. I don't really know what these things are. I've never seen aliens really depicted as most of the creatures in this, so I guess it's what makes it Alien. That being said, I never played this as a kid, but I think that if I did, I would have just enjoyed it, because of the graphics and presentation, and it being a fun game. And then but I found out about this pretty later in my Genesis experience. Yeah, and then for this screen, you want to take out all these little guys and clean up as fast as possible, because otherwise you're gonna lose a bunch of time there. And then this is basically just an auto scroller, but I try to clear the screen. You can use you can stay near the bottom for the most part, and it's pretty safe. And then once you get far enough in the screen or in the stage for basic strategy, you can just be a little safer than I'm being. Go up near the middle of the stage, so that you don't have to walk the full distance. When you get pulled off the rest of the stage. These guys are kind of annoying because they'll grab you and they'll lift you up, but they're pretty harmless. So that was actually just a technical mistake. That was just me hitting, like, a fat fingering, hitting a button. instead of just using melee attacks. Yeah, but they'll pick you up and they'll slam you. But most of the time, on easy anyway, doesn't really hurt you. Even in the harder difficulties on console, they don't really hurt you. And then on this screen, you want to clear like a couple of them, and then you can walk in. But I still like to go for like 3, and that's just to keep crowd control, managed so that they don't get out of control. Because in beat 'em ups, like most of what you're trying to do are just obviously they're just setups and having backup strats for enemies that get out of control one way or another. Yeah, and now it's daytime. It's pretty much the same thing. There aren't really a lot of enemy variety. I assume that there's some palette changes as far as their colors, but probably not. I don't know how many there would be. I mean, but yeah, that doesn't bother me. I guess it's a fun adventure. There's really great music. The scream of the enemies is classic. Yeah, and crowd control is always fun. Yeah, and it's not a run button, but it's a I wanna move, and you still manually dash. And on these screens, like these are screens that you would you save your bombs for to clear like the trash cans instantly. Just to reduce the number of enemies on the screen. Also, yeah, when you see civilians in these, shooter stages, yeah, you don't want to hit them, because they will deplete your health bar. I've definitely lost some attempts. Yeah, trying to like clear something and go for some risky energy or damage an enemy faster, and and then that's the end of the run. That being said, there aren't too many humans left. There's a couple in the next one, and then that'll be the end of them, and then we're gonna go into the mother lair. Yeah, the laboratory is pretty much the end of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like it. Yeah, those ones you want to kill on the screen, but I was in favor of crowd control, apparently. Let's see. Yeah, and the lasers are problematic, so yeah, don't mind me for a second there. I wanted to make sure I didn't get messed up too much by them. And then that's your... I can't remember if that's your last one or if there's one after this. Yeah, there's one more. And that's the end of the human. So after that, if you're trying to clear stuff, you don't have to worry about clearing it out efficiently before the waves of enemies start. Which is why I try to clear it before, you get anywhere, because you want to just double check for stuff like that, energy and health, which it's random, I guess if they drop or where they drop. And yeah, here we go, last little boss rush. Which was apparently has more forms than the other version, but we'll get there eventually. Yeah, I just, you know, I saw this, and was like, you know, let's see what we can do with this game, and ended up being a pretty cool little experience. And like I was saying earlier, this is a place when you're trying to be efficient with your resources. Like, I didn't mean to get grabbed, you know, but even you saw it's like it didn't really put me in a dangerous situation or hurt me. And that's because I could afford to, you know, hold my ground in that situation. Yeah. Even like that little knockdown is, I guess, more dangerous. And yep. All right. Rip. All right, and start to get near the end. You can let them knock you in the corner like that. And they'll pop you out by backing up into you after a couple hits. Yeah, and it doesn't really do that much damage to you. So it's not really a big risk. Yeah, for any percent, yeah, I'll yeah, let a life go. Especially to use like energy, and then I can actually use energy to wipe this, and then that actually speeds up that screen as well. Okay. All right. Yeah, and for that last boss, I didn't really explain it, but you can basically just like walk. You can like it'll shoot at you. And you can like start at one part, and then you can go down like a third of the screen, or you know, just a little bit, you know, and then it'll go through like a full cycle of shooting, and you'll be able to dodge that attack faster, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time taking hits. And then for this, you pretty much want to mash, and you can stay actually a lot lower than seems like you'd be able to shoot. And sometimes you can get really, really good RNG, and they won't send you anything that'll knock you over. And other times, you'll just get knocked over by pretty much anything. Yeah, so... Alright, yeah, and let's see, what else is there? Alright, yeah. Sorry, trying to focus on these groupings. And keeping everything under control. Like even that, like I don't want to get knocked down there, but I stood a little far to the left. And like this screen, like is this screen where I generally just wait instead of scrolling it the full way, because then you can, you don't have to fight this first wave of enemies with those last ones. And then as soon as these guys pop on, you can use your last bit of energy efficiently and make it into here, and then you'll be able to get. Yeah, generally you'll be able to get at least 1 or 2 energy tanks, and you won't be impaired or held back by your energy management through this section. Because if you get too low on energy, your weapons just aren't as powerful, and on the shooting sections like this, it makes some, you know, parts of it very drawn out and hard to get through. But if you can screen wipe a couple of times at key places on some weak enemies, some some for enemies that just move around a lot and are possibly hard to contain, or if you just don't get the setup. As long as you have a little energy to get a couple of shots, I mean, you'll have a good entrance into the shooter levels, where you'll have an opportunity to get a bunch of energy. Anyway, here we are, last stretch. So, we're gonna play it by ear. In general, like, I'm gonna try and screen wipe, but this energy is pretty much gonna be reserved for a counter hit, last hit counter hit. So we're gonna see how far we can get with this energy, because I don't want to actually take damage. I'd rather just beat everybody and let the death abuse happen naturally. Going for risky stuff. And there's still a lot of optimization to do. It's not like tasked out, and that was a nice grouping, except that they got knocked down super hard. And so if I had a little bit more energy, this would be a screen where I would consider bombing, but looks like if I had enough, I wouldn't have enough to take a shot in the next shooting section, and it would be one that, yeah, you'd rather just game over here and start with fresh energy, and then have the opportunity to gain them. So yeah, but again, I'd rather not take it. I should be able to get at least a couple of canisters. So as long as I don't take too much damage, and there's nice health. There's a really nice health pack. Very nice. That was critical, actually. So that way we don't have to go through another continue screen, which I did not handle very well the last one. I did not mash that start button. I thought I could just press the attack button, but yeah, and some of these crawly things will take a long time, and some of the enemies will actually get stuck behind walls, and you have to know where they'll be able to pop out. And like shooting on like the edges of them in situations, or in between like little cracks in some of these spots, you just know they're gonna come out. Alright, and you just go in the first one for all of them, and then we're in the last battle room. So I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, we're gonna actually bomb this because we're gonna take advantage of that light. Okay, and this is a situation where I might want to actually just let them beat me up. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm just gonna let him knock me out. I wish that I didn't kill the other one. I thought he had one more hit, so they would just be able to battle me up. Because I don't think it's enough energy to go into the last area with. Because there's also, I can use that to screen wipe one more, actually two more, and that's actually huge. You know, walk over just enough, and then up in there, and then we're in the last stretch. So generally, you just try and get all the enemies and get extra shots on the main dude, main brain. And that being said, after every wave of an enemy here is cleared, this is the final boss. So we'll have time when the screen fades to black, and then just crush. Just like, oh, okay, nice. All right, and time. All right, cool. Yeah, that was a pretty good run. I don't know if it made a big difference or not, but generally I played the dude, and I actually just got in the mindset of hitting the run button or the right button. before the character confirm, and I ended up playing, luckily, the character that I like as opposed to the bad character. Yeah. Yeah, so that was it's a good fun game, and it doesn't take you can spend a little bit of time learning it. Easy with easy energy levels is it's a fun little game. It's got great presentation, and for me especially, I like the game variety a whole lot. All right, yeah.
GG. Thanks. That's a really fun game. I had a lot of difficulty beating it. Like couldn't even beat it. I was trying to get achievements with it. I found it to be kind of hard. What got you into running this?
Just being a beat 'em up, and then seeing it actually like on like collections that are available places, and there's like at game machines, and then I tested a copy one time, when I was working, and I was like, this game's actually kind of alright, and I was able to pick up a copy for an affordable price, and and then I just started playing it, and then I realized that I was actually having fun getting the groupings and the crowd control and death abuse, and just like lots of little things, and it's a fun little 20-minute game, or it's like a really challenge, and like the hard's a pretty challenging game as well for like a limited continue thing, even though it's not, I haven't beaten it 1cc yet, but maybe one day. But it's a lot of fun, and so you can pick it up and play it a lot. And
yeah, I like it. It's got a lot of charm.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks, guys, Safari and Sonic Custer for the GGs. Yeah, it's
So your next game upcoming is a Japanese title. Could you tell us just a little bit about that game before we switch the setup?
Yeah. That game is called, as far as I know how to pronounce it, Shinrei Jusatsushi Taramaru. And basically, you're a spiritual warrior, and or a pair of them, and you're going into the demon or yokai realm, and you're going to go take out the biggest baddies that you can. And outside of that, it's a really great looking seamless transition through a lot of feudal areas in Japan, and like I said, through the yokai world, Time Warner Interactive actually made this game and actually dumped a lot of money into it, and especially to me, I think it really holds up, and it really shows. It's a lot of fun, even if it is a lot of mashing.
All right, I look forward to it. So you all just stay tuned. We'll be right back with this crazy game that he's talking about.